Coming up on News in Depth, rice farmers protest fees. Priya Manikchan cannot remember the price she paid for her Pradoville 2 land, and fire at the University of Guyana Turkine campus. News in Depth begins now. With tonight's edition of News in Depth, I'm Eva Wharton. Thanks for joining us. We begin this evening by telling you that rice farmers today picketed the Ministry of Agriculture, calling for the removal of drainage and other fees.
Rice farmers from across the country today protested in front of the Ministry of the Presidency, calling on the government to remove the increased fees on drainage and irrigation services and land rent from $3,500 an acre to $15,000 per acre. PP Member of Parliament Dharam Kumar Siraj said, if not repealed, the situation can be damaging for the rice industry, and he is calling for consultation with the Agriculture Minister.
The removal of VAT concession on capital equipment, the imposition of VAT on agriculture inputs, and of course not having any marketing strategy, and no consultation with the farming community.
But not all rice farmers are objecting to the increased fees.
I always ask the minister to consult the farmers them, to know the proposal and know the problems. Because the farmers in the whole is not against them raising the rent, but it's the price that they put it, the height that they put the rent to. You understand?
You go Hope Town. Me not criticize you going Hope Town. But the point is that you ask yourself, how much farmer Hope Town have? How much farmer? Right? Bushland get hundreds of farmer. He ain't coming there. He going at Hope Town.
Pay us $6,000 to $9,000 a bag, and then we can talk about any increase. But as for now, where are we going to find this money from?
Siraj feels if the government refuses to listen to the farmers, the fallout will...
We will return with more news on the other side of this break.
Hey, looky there. Let me go techie boots.
Boots? No, mama, I ain't gonna get lock up teeth in a big stinky 30-second boots. Plus, it can be more cheaper online. And then got my favorite color, pink. Let me go on.
Online shopping. Cheaper, faster, better. Pass back.
Onion. Hi, honey. Your family will love new Abbey butter spread.
Mommy.
A heart-healthy choice with no cholesterol, Abbey is ready to use right out of the fridge. Smooth, spreadable, rich and creamy, Abbey is a great tasting butter spread. Try it today.
A man's beer.
Welcome back. Former government ministers turned themselves into Soku to avoid a replay of yesterday's drama.
More former government officials are making themselves available to be interviewed by the Special Organized Crime Unit as the probe into Pradoville 2 intensified. Today was less drama as former Education Minister Priya Manikchan, former Public Service Minister Jennifer Westford, and former Home Affairs Minister Clement Roy all turned up at the request of Soku. The PPP are maintaining that the move is political and are blaming the coalition government for what they call political witch hunt. But the government has dismissed those claims and posited that Soku is operating independently and without any interference or direction from the government. Manikchan, who acquired a plot of land at Pradoville 2, said she could not recall the price she paid for the land. She said she took money from the bank to develop and build and later sold the property.
At what cost did you acquire this piece of land?
You know, I said to Soku just now that I cannot recall the exact price, but that's public knowledge. It's on the, whatever was the price, that was asked of.
All right, and confirmation that you did sell this land?
Yes.
All right, and if I can ask if you paid the capital gains tax?
Yes,
after you sold
so
that?
you're asking me actually more than they asked me. So it is true that I bought the property. It is also true that I built on the property. It is also true, information that has been publicly available since the moment it happened, that I took mortgages to do that. And that is public knowledge. In all the reports and the audits and all that, which in my view were an attempt to embarrass. You have never heard that Priya Manikchand took a mortgage, and that has always been public knowledge because mortgages are gazetted, right? So I built a house, I developed the house and the land, and then I sold the property. When I did that, to be able to sell the property, I had to get something called compliance, which means that I would have had to comply with all the legal procedures. So yes, I would have paid my capital gains.
And it's not only former government officials who are being interviewed by SOCO. The Director of Public Prosecutions, Shalimar Haque, and Presidential Advisor and former GDF Chief of Staff, Gary Best, will also be appearing before SOCO. On Tuesday, former President Barrett Jackday and former head of the Presidential Secretariat, Dr. Roger Luncheon, former Natural Resources Minister Robert Persaud, and Chairman of the Guyana Gold Board were all arrested by the Special Organized Crime Unit. It was revealed that plots of lands at Spiron Dam Housing Project on the east coast of Demerara were sold below market price. The case came to light after the new government took office. It was also revealed that NCN's transmitters were removed to facilitate Prattville 2 housing scheme, with lots being sold for as low as $1.5 million Guyana dollars to members and supporters of the People's Progressive Party.
Morning.
Hi, honey. Your family will love new Abe butter spread.
Thank you, Mommy.
A heart-healthy choice with no cholesterol, Abe is ready to use right out of the fridge. Smooth, spreadable, rich and creamy, Abe is a great tasting butter spread. Try it today.
Nothing compares to the class and beauty of Beeson windows and doors. Engineered by professionals and built to last longer than the competition. Buy 10 windows and get one 24x16 bathroom window absolutely free. No tricks, no gimmicks, and no hidden fees. Prices starting from $13.5 VAT inclusive. So visit our showroom today at Lot 1228 New Eccles Industrial Site or BPAT's building on Regent Street and save big on UPVC or aluminum windows. To order now, call 622-4197 or 226-1292.
The Guyana Fire Service was called in to extinguish a fire at the Turkine campus of the University of Guyana.
Firemen were called into action at the University of Guyana after a generator caught fire at the Turkine campus this morning. The incident occurred at the back of the Health Sciences Department. Classes were disrupted as the fire alarm went off, but quick work by the Guyana Fire Service contained the fire to this section of the building. No one was injured, and it's unclear how the fire started. Fire Prevention Officer Andrew Holder said, in his opinion, the storage tank was too close to the generator set.
The material in which the storage tank was built out of was not the required material for a petroleum storage tank. It's a plastic tank. Those tanks are used mainly for transporting of fuel, not for continuous storage of fuel. So what might have occurred here today, the generator was running for a continuous period of time, overheated, melt the plastic tank, fuel escape, got into the generator enclosure, and from there an explosion occurred.
He said it is a norm for when facilities such as this are built that the Guyana Fire Service is consulted.
I'm not sure if that was done in this case. I'm certain that I hadn't anything to do with it because I would not have recommended the conditions you're seeing here today.
The investigation is still active.
That's a wrap of this edition of News in Depth. Do join us again, same time tomorrow for another edition.